you have been in my short time of being here. I am honestly totally overwhelmed by, one, how responsive people are to me, and how much people seem to actually like me just rambling on with my nonsense, and two, just how amazingly heartfelt and sweet and really nice you guys have been. You know, when I first heard about the community, I really did not know just how deep the mutual respect and love ran within it. It's amazing. I kind of feel like the longer I'm a part of it, the more you get to see just how great it is. I mean, you guys have been so good, and I have, done nothing but rejoice in my decision to join and start these videos. I couldn't have been made any more welcome, and it's very, very loving and wonderful, and it's a genuine pleasure to be a part of. I was gonna say I'm getting off track, but to be honest, I don't even know where I'm heading with this. The reason I decided to just kind of pick up the microphone and talk is that I found something out today. Don't worry, it's not like anything horrible, nobody's ill or anything like that. But I suppose it requires a little bit of backstory. When I first went to university, which would have been, let me think, about 6 years ago now, when I first went, I found my first love pretty quickly, to be honest. The way it worked was, in our student accommodation, there was like 2 buildings. Well, it was like a huge student accommodation campus, and it was like blocks of flats in separate buildings. And in our area, which was called Eden, I believe, the people I lived in the top flat on floor 7, and some people knew other people in the building opposite, so we would often, because of this connection, we would often kind of go out with the people from the opposite building, and we used to spend loads of time together, these 2 flats. And it was in the other flat that I found, I'm not going to say her name, but we'll call her V. Okay, I like giving people code names. So I met V, and we just kind of hit it off really quickly, and a relationship developed really quickly. And that's because I just fell in love with her head over heels so quickly and so deep. It was unreal. I've never felt anything like that before, and I never have till this day. I cared for her so much, and I still do, even though we've been, apart, broken up for like 5 years, and I've not actually seen her for free. I still think about her a lot of the time, and I miss her a lot as well. She genuinely was my first love, and even when, I know this sounds horrible, but even when I was with other girls, miss her. Because we were so close and had so much in common, and just, I don't know, there was just a real chemistry, and she made a huge impact on my life so quickly. It was kind of like finding the female version of me, which was amazing, but at the same time, a big part of why we eventually broke up, because if you are too similar to somebody, it tends to cause tension and friction, and that's what happened. But even when we broke up and she started seeing one of our friends, one of our mutual friends after me, you know, I could never hold any kind of grudges or anger towards her, because in my heart I still loved her, and I think the problem is a part of me still does. So, skip forward a couple of years, and, you know, we tried the whole friends thing, but it just couldn't work. You know, for the longest time she was my best friend, even though we couldn't get along as friends, you know. I don't know if that makes any sense. It does to me, and hopefully you'll kind of understand where I'm coming from. And then she started seeing her fiance, who we'll call D. I'm not being very imaginative with these code names. But anyway, she started seeing D, and he at first was a bit of a waster and just not a very nice guy, and I really didn't like him. And I mean, he has cleaned up his act as far as I know, and, you know, surprisingly they stayed together, and then they got engaged, and they have been for about a year, and then I saw today, in a year's time from today, they'll be married. Their wedding will take place on July 15th, 2012, and, you know, I knew they were engaged, and I knew that, you know, both of us have moved on, and I have, you know, as much as I sound like some kind of desperate loner clinging on to the memory of her, I have moved on, you know, but, like I said, you kind of never forget, and I don't know, it's not, I suppose, her as much as I miss, but kind of the memory of what we had more than the person. Again, if that makes any sense, but the announcement of the wedding kind of made things real, and it made me very kind of reflective, and it made me kind of think about what I had, and, you know, just kind of how much I miss her, just being around her and just having her in my life. Not even, you know, we couldn't work, we found that out, but even though we couldn't be friends, you know, I still felt comfort knowing that she was still in my life, and, you know, slowly but surely she's fading out, and that's really sad, and that's kind of made me feel really reflective. Another thing that's kind of got me in this kind of sad mood, I guess, is doing that response video for Sin City Soft Talker with a little something for the fellas. I actually got really quite sad doing that, because when I was doing it I was thinking of my best friend, who is named Amando. I'll say his name, but literally he is like a brother to me, and I haven't seen him for 2 years, and even now contact is fading so quickly, but honestly, he is the best friend I've ever had. He really is like a brother some of you really well, and in this last week I've started to get to know some of you really well, and you know, I kind of feel like I have become accepted into this community, and I'm getting to meet all kinds of interesting people. Well, not me, but you know what I mean. I'm getting to talk and get to know really interesting people, people with, you know, real character to them, and just real sweet people who are just incredible. Honestly, without kind of sounding too cheesy, I think joining the community has been the best thing I've done in a long, long while. It's kind of given me a freedom to speak, and it's given me, you know, an opening to a world filled with just sweet, lovely, caring, beautiful people. So, as sad as it is, you know, thinking about the possibility of people I love and people close to me kind of fading away, it's